And welcome back to yet another messy fish room video. It's been about 2 weeks, I think, since I've done an update, and I have started moving this row around. Yeah, I sort of do it all on my own, and I don't have many days off, so that's why everything is sort of just a complete mess. Look at all that stuff everywhere. But we are progressing to making it better, so in this video I'm going to go through what updates I've done, what I'm going to do, hopefully, and how much better it's going to be, hopefully again. But anyway, let's get started. So if you've seen any of the last videos, I had this rack here, which are just Malawi cichlids. Turn around here, I don't even have a light for these tanks at the moment. There are a lot of baby Malawi cichlids, so mostly peacocks, alunacaras. What have we got? Electric yellows. Oh, I did get some more fish, and I got rid of some fish, so we'll go through that as well. In here, there are some little synodontis catfish. Some of these I've had for like about 6 or 8 months. Those are cuckoo cats. And then some other ones I've only just got, and of course, you cannot see them. So I've had them for about a week or so. They've been in quarantine. They seem fine, so I've just dumped them with my baby fish. Well, we have a fair few synodontis cats. There we go. There was one somewhere at the back. I think there's like about 13 in there growing up at the moment. So they're going to max out around about that sort of 10, 12 centimeters. I think maybe 15 centimeters are the biggest ones I've ever had. But yeah, it takes them a good year or two to sort of mature. Cuckoo cats are pretty awesome because they're the ones that lay their eggs when the cichlids are laying their eggs, and then the cichlids incubate them in their mouth, and they hatch quicker. There's one there. So they hatch a lot quicker than the cichlids do. And they actually eat the baby cichlids in the mouth, which is really disturbing when you think about it, because when the cichlid releases the babies, yeah, she releases a whole lot of catfish. It should be like, what the hell? What's even happened? So, disturbing, but it'll be fun to breed them. I haven't bred them for, good 20 years maybe. Yeah, a long, long time. So, growing up a group of them, there is another species, which I cannot remember the name. Such a common species too. I'll put it on the screen if I can be bothered, otherwise you can guess in the comments. But it's Tanzanian catfish. In with my Malawis, of course. So, what I've done anyway, is this row did have the 4 2-footers up the top, pumping up the top, into this, into that. Now, I've just moved everything around. There are the 2-footers there, next to the banana lounge. Woohoo, banana lounge. Yeah, they're going to sit there until I tidy them up. So, I've pretty much consolidated all the fish down the bottom 4 foot. And I've got this Awazi filter, and a few people have asked me what I think about the Awazi filters. Okay, I am not paid by anyone to do any videos. Even though someone wants me to review their products at the moment, those poor, poor people. Yeah, comment down below if you think I should just review any products that people send me. That would be kind of hilarious. Yeah, I'd probably get booted off the internet or sued or something. This product is dumb. But Awazi filters, like this is obviously a canister. I think this is the 350. I'm looking at it now going, this is not the 250, this is bigger than that. So I think it's the 350. I haven't had any problems with them. A few people have asked, yeah, are they worth it, blah, 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 blah. I reckon they are. The pre-filter alone makes it so much easier to clean your filter, and all you do is obviously turn it off on the wall, push that bit, and this whole thing comes up and you've got a whole lot of sponges. So you can clean that out without pulling the whole entire filter apart, which works great. And this one, which we're saying it's the 350, I don't even know where it says on it what it is. It's probably around the other side. But yeah, that is powerful enough to pump into this tank. It's supposed to do up to 350 litres. I think we're at about 450 litres. It's powerful enough to pump up into these tanks, overflows in my little dodgy pipes there, trickles into that tank, and then goes back into the canister filter. Really, really simple, easy way of doing it. The heater and everything is in there. It works fine. Yeah, so that's where we are with that. And apart from that, I've got sponge filters going, which you can kind of see in the back there. Actually, we should probably just go around this way to show you the actual sponge filters. There's a sponge filter there. And all the sponge filters are run off an AC/DC air pump, which is that thing there. So if the power goes off, that lasts for a good day or so. So none of my fish die, which is pretty important because you don't want fish to die. No. So talking about fish not dying, this rack here, which are which are 4 foot by 20-inch tanks. They're kind of a weird size because these stands are a weird size. I have obviously taken the Malawi cichlids out of that. They are in these tanks. These tanks were the tanks around the other side, which had my L numbers in it. I decided I don't overly want to breed L numbers at the moment, so I've got rid of half the L numbers, kept the other half. L numbers are just a little catfish that spends all day, every day in a log. I know, they're pretty to look at if they ever come out of the log, but they're nocturnal. They don't come out of the log. And I think I'm just a little bit over fish that hide 24/7, unless, you know, you want to look at them at like 2 in the morning or something like that. So we're going to reduce our numbers of certain fish and build up our numbers of other fish, like these really cool Malawi cichlids that have been growing up for ages. There's the white lips. They were in the pond in the last video, and obviously they're not in the pond now. Obviously there's no light on these tanks, so you're just getting natural light, which is making them look pretty horrible. But albino blue dolphins, looking lovely. They got that iridescent blue sheen to them. I think there's a few venistus, only girls. Of course, my boy got destroyed by one of these bloody Frontosa. That's a Tanganykan. These are all Malawis. What else have we got in there? Oh, my cool hybrid. Look at that. Yeah, that was just a mistake. You're a mistake. And I think there's a random male rostratus in there. And down the bottom, we have yet another Frontosa right at the back. That's a black widow fonny. We have more of our rostratus in there, and we have our Dimbiachromis, which I did manage to save a lot of their fry. And we do have tons of different fry, obviously. You saw all those just before. Tons more in there. In here, which you cannot see because of the reflection. Yeah, I didn't really think that one through, did I? I think there's rostratus fry in there, and somewhere down the bottom are white lips, which look brown. I know, that's camouflage, so nothing eats the babies, obviously, because if they were bright blue when they were little, yeah, they're just going to get wiped out. Well, we've got a fair few fry growing up. When I did move a lot of those Malawi cichlids, there was fry in the mouth, so I've got them in this egg trap here, or egg tumbler. There they are. So this just pretty much does what the babies, well, it pretty much does what the mother does to the babies in her mouth. She just washes them around like that. And if you have a close look, if you can see their little tails and heads stuck to the eggs, or some of them, I think it's a mixture of electric yellows and I don't know what else is in there. Electric yellows and let's say albino blue dolphins. Yeah, might not be. We'll find out. There's a couple of dodgy eggs in there. But all that does is that's just driven by air. Air goes down in there. And as the air comes up, it sucks water through that sponge down the bottom. And that's what's pushing those eggs around. Pretty straightforward. So I've got them in the Tanganykan setup, which is a little bit more alkaline than the Malawis. I keep them roughly about 8. These are probably about 8.9 or so, so a fair bit higher than them, but they've survived. We've slowly acclimatized them. I've also picked the pair of black Calvus that I had in the shop with all the rest of them. So Calvus are doing well. I did get another 2 gold compressiceps. Cannot tell if the little ones are males or females because they are really, really small. There's one right there. Hopefully we've got a male because now the 4 bigger ones are girls, which is a right pain. But they're a little bit too small. Look at the weird stance on that. Have you ever seen a fish as weird as that? Flat, weird, creepy fish. These are high pH, so you want to keep them anything from 8.5 to 9.5. It's ridiculous. And I think there's a big male black Calvus there. I'm pretty sure he wants to spawn with that girl. Oh yeah, look at her. She's filled with eggs. Turn around. Show us your bits. She's a pretty fish. So I think they're going to spawn in that actual shell or barnacle there. But I think I've got only 3 males. This male over here looks like he's protecting an area, so hopefully a girl has bred in there as well. But that's where we are with all the Calvus and compressiceps. I've probably got a few too many in there. Maybe need some bigger shells or something for them to breed in. But I did have, sorry fish, up here, their first lot of babies. We can kind of zoom in. Even though they're bright yellow, these are black Calvus. I know, how crazy that all the baby fish look totally different when they're babies. Well, I suppose that's just about everything, isn't it? I wonder if we can come around this way, not disturb the babies. There they all are there. Okay, that weird brownie one is, what's it called? I was going to say Haplochromis, but it's not Haplochromis. Nimbiachromis, something rather now. Yeah, there's a couple of random rogue fry in there as well. But all those yellow ones are the black Calvus, and they're taking ages to grow. I forgot that they actually take, probably a good, maybe, let's say, year to look like actual fish. I know, they are so slow growing, it's not funny. But they're doing well, so they're just going to be in this little trap for ages. And if you haven't seen these traps before, they are little cis breeder boxes. Work really well. Connect your air to the side. It sucks the water through a little grill there, and then the water trickles back in and then comes out the mesh on the sides. Great little traps. They work really, really well if you've got stuff to grow up and you've just got weird sized fish that all the other fish are going to munch and that. Otherwise, what else is in here? We've got a leposoma, not really doing much. Really hard to tell males and females because they're still so small. I really want to get more of them. I've only got 4. The last 2 I got, one only survived through quarantine, so that was a fail. Yeah, I really need a group of like 6, 8, maybe more, but not happening right now until we can actually find some, and then they need to be at an okay price. But they're really, really cool Tanganykan. I probably should set up another tank up the top, but I don't want to get too high again like I did with the 2-footers around the other side, because it's just really, really hard to actually look at the fish without climbing a ladder and just generally being stupid. And yeah, if you've got limited time like I do and you're rushing around like mad, you sort of don't really want any tanks higher than head view because you're just going to miss stuff. And yeah, it really doesn't work when you're keeping lots of different fish and stuff like that. Otherwise, our little shell dwellers have not laid eggs again. There's the girl there. There's the boy. And there's the other boy, who's actually getting a lot bigger. Yeah, that's weird. He is a lot bigger than that boy now. They were all the same size a little bit ago. But they like to bury their shells, which is kind of cool. Yeah, interesting behavior. All these little guys here, Cylindricus, they keep going through their breeding behavior. They've all paired up, but I have not seen one fry in there, which is kind of bizarre because when I was breeding them, we'd always have fry. So maybe I've got too many. I think I've got like about 12 in there. So I might split them up a little bit as well. Maybe take a couple of pairs back to the shop. So I've just got 2 or 3 pairs. But I really want to build up the leposoma before I do that, which is the little sardine cichlids. Those little guys there, which will go a really, really nice blue color with yellow on them, if they ever color up, but they are a lot bigger than they were. Yeah, I just need a group of those first before I take other cichlids out. Otherwise, it's just going to be a complete war zone and they're just going to harass the crap out of each other. But anyway, that's where we are with all that. Behind me, I haven't really done much. Well, maybe I have. I have moved a lot of cichlids out, which is just grow out. So obviously I've got lots of parrots, still got dovies, wolf cichlids, nothing in there, more dovies, still got all the cories all clumped together, so a ton of different cories, really nice female betta fish. Check her out. Yeah, that is a girl. I know, I really need to breed her, but yeah, no time right now. Nothing in there. Oh, my albino, what are they? Peppered cories are looking absolutely amazing now. You may think they're not, but I like them. They are weird, weird, weird fish. They're starting to get that iridescent shine to them. And I think I just saw 1 or 2 girls starting to fill up with eggs. Where's that one? No, that's a boy. Okay, a lot of boys, but I did see 2 bigger, chunkier girls. So hopefully we'll spawn those. They are a very, very easy Corydoras to breed. Oh, I probably should feed stuff while I'm here. And that is just the deshelled baby brine shrimp eggs. I'm trying to get all of these baby fish out of this system. There are a lot of baby fish. I think they're mostly super green Texas. The darker ones are convicts. There may even be a few other random rogue cichlids in there. no idea, but there is way, 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 way too many fish in there. And yeah, if you haven't seen any of the other videos on this system, it is just a 6-foot sump pumping water into all these 2-foot tanks. So the whole thing is just on one big system. I have been moving a lot of all these cichlids out into this system, and this is early morning, so the light is absolutely horrible. But yeah, there is a ridiculous amount of cichlids in here. Yeah, got a few bits of algae here and there, but whoop-de-doo. And this, with all the junk underneath it, is just the 2 sumps. So water gets pumped up using one of these great white pumps, which are absolutely awesome, by the way. Pumping the water up the top, and it's just trickling through the overflows if we go around the back. Oh, what a mess everything is, I tell you. Just pumping the water into this, then straight back into there. Super old 25-year-old stand. But that is how that is working. Yeah, and it's fine. It's just grow out for baby cichlids. Ideally, I would like 4-foot tanks, and then there's a ton more room. But yeah, I don't know. We will perk up and go a little bit crazy. Not that I'm not perky, but you know, we'll go a little bit crazy soon. And I need to move that rack there. That'll give me another 3 4-footers. I've got another 4-foot somewhere. That's a 3-foot sitting there. I'm pretty sure around the other side I've got another 4-footer. So I can probably rig up that stand to this system or something like that and just have a little bit more grow out room, because yeah, as the cichlids are getting too big for these 2-foot tanks, need to do something about it. All my baby red devils are starting to kind of look like red devils, kind of not. All these will be available in my shop eventually. Just have to grow them up, obviously. But yeah, that is doing well. So these cichlids hopefully will move over there once I move the bigger ones out into the 4-foot tanks, if that even makes sense. I've got a few little discus growing up in here. Yep, I know. Why have I got discus? Don't even ask. A few came in dodgy and stuff like that. In here we have a one-eyed gold laser Cory and her brothers and sisters somewhere in there. They are an amazing Corydoras. I do have baby ones of these available in the shop as well. So if you want an absolutely awesome looking Corydoras, go for gold lasers. They are really, really hard to kill, and they are a lovely looking fish. I'm gonna max out like that 5-6 centimeter sort of size. Oh, this system, haha, I haven't done really anything with this system. Everything is growing up. I've moved the bichir into here, and hopefully we'll go slow. There they are. I do have some of these available as well in the shop. A little bit bigger than these ones. These are the smaller ones. They all grow at different rates. Look at them all packed away in their pipes. So these are just Senegals. Senegals have the stripes when they're little, lose the stripes when they get bigger. But they're all doing really, really well. More at the back. Oh, and I found 2 little tiny baby ones in the subwasser tank behind me. Yeah, in the tetra section. So obviously the babies have gone through the overflow and grown up in the tetra tanks. Lucky I got them just in time before they started eating everything. But yeah, I might grow up a group of like 20 or 30 of these again, and yeah, just see if they have any cool patterns or whatever to them. Sometimes they do. I've got a few black dots and stuff like that to them. In here is just the albino kibensis. Can't even see him, but I did get another batch of fry. There they are there, just starting to free swim and wiggle. Their first batch of fry right at the back are starting to look like kibensis. Oh, can we focus? There we go. Mixture of albinos and normals. Yeah, they're doing well, so they'll be available for sale probably in another month or so when they're up to size. Otherwise, lots of angelfish. The only L numbers I've kept, a few of my favorites in here, and some peppermints. The rainbow sharks, I don't think they laid eggs in that tank, but I took all the stuff out and I'm just ignoring it in case I see any fry, but they're in there. Gouramis, I need to take all these into the shop. They're sellable size now. These are little babies that we bred a month or 2 ago. So gold gouramis, pearl gouramis, looking like gouramis, gouramis. And there's a few other random L numbers in there, which I'll probably keep, I think. Pair of angels in there. The dusty hatchet fish are going so well. Look how cool they are. Don't like the camera in their face, but they're going awesome. And the albinos, albino hoplos, decent size now. That is 100% male. There's a male there as well, and I think I have 2 females. So 2 males, 2 females, that's pretty good odds. My little tiny stumpy-tailed ones, oh my goodness, look at that. That is a ball with fins. So I've kept most of the stumpy ones. Look at them now, I know. I actually didn't keep many normal ones. I think I've only kept like 4 or 5 normal ones in here, and the rest are the stumpy ones. Yeah, I have actually sold out of all the little Hoplo cats that we brought into the shop because they are awesome catfish and they were nice and cheap. I will spawn them again. In the last unboxing video, no, not unboxing video, what am I in? The last fish room video, our male did have a nest of bubbles there, but he decided no. So I'm currently altering his water chemistry again. So we're using more RO, so we're bringing the TDS down, the water hardness, so the GH and the KH down. He is somewhere in his log. There he is there. But yeah, no bubble nest. Build a big bubble nest and then stop. So I've got that tank off this system. RO's almost ready, so I'll do that in the next day or so and trigger him again because I do want them to spawn, and the girls are huge. Oh, there he is there. Actually, that's one of the girls. Hello. Like he's talking to me, but he's not. In here, pygmy cories, they were spawning the other day. I'm not going to save their eggs because they're so small. It's just, yeah, it drives me crazy thinking about it, and I'm sort of busy with other stuff at the moment, but hopefully some of them will survive. There was a whole lot of eggs. If I've got time, they'll be on the screen, or maybe I'll move around the other side and I can show you. Let's try that. Oh, everything is still a big mess. Haven't moved the groper yet. Do we even see any eggs? No, I don't see any eggs. So, oh wait, there's an unfertilized egg. Woohoo, fungus egg. Don't know where all the other eggs have gone. Oh, there's an egg. That is a pygmy corydoras egg. I know. Way too small because, for one, they're pygmy cories. And this is obviously the back end of this system, so just overflows going into pipes, which I've modified off other systems. That's why it's kind of a little bit dodgy, just going into a sump. Works perfectly well. All some Otto cichlids catfish. I do want to spawn them, but yeah, they're not ready anytime soon. And, oh, actually in here, this weird tank, so celestial peldinios. Yeah, everyone wants them at the moment, so I thought I'd spawn them again. We have a male and a few girls. There's a lovely male there. I've got them spawning in that dodgy flower pot, and I've got a pipe underneath going into that tub. Yeah, I know. What the hell am I doing? Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So the idea is when they lay their eggs in there, which they have been, all the fry and the eggs get pumped into here, and then some will survive. We'll see if that works. I just rigged that up because I had random bits and pieces to rig it up, and we'll see. We'll see. Otherwise, in here, apart from the Otto cichlids, my cool neons, albinos, common ones, and whatever L numbers I saved. And I'm pretty sure there's one darting around. There they are. L triple threes. That tiny little fish there. I'm just not into them. I think, yeah, I don't think I want to breed any L numbers anytime soon. Even the zebras don't sort of interest me at the moment, so I think, yeah, we'll just, maybe a few years of not breeding L numbers and we'll move on to other exciting stuff. Otherwise, yeah, more tetras. What else have we here? The blue rams haven't really done anything. Now that I've moved the stand from here and got a little bit more room, it's a little bit easier to see the tanks. And yeah, this 9-footer here, which is 9 foot by 4 foot, all these silver cichlids, they are pretty huge. They're like 30, 35 centimeters long. There's a wild Oscar. Hello, Oscar. Hi. I don't think I want to keep them anymore. They're mostly boys. In fact, I think maybe I lost the last girl. That is a boy, a boy, a boy, a boy, a boy. Yeah, okay. It's sausage fest. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boys. If you're interested in an awesome big display fish, I may sell these. Yeah, so either talk to me in the shop or what have you. I will probably bring them in, and I think once they're out of this tank, I can put something else in there. Not entirely sure what. Obviously giant gourami, and all my cool caddies are in here. That fish there is a Raphael catfish. I think he's, how old is he or she? Pretty sure it's about 26, 27 years old, that fish. I know, which is ridiculous when you think about it. I haven't had it the whole time, but I got him when he was about 25 years old, and that was a few years ago. There's one of the tiger bichir or bichir. Now, there's the two love couples, I was going to say. What on earth am I talking about? There's the male and female. So I've got one girl and I think 2 boys. These two are just going through the spawning behavior. I did put them into a tank with some RO to see what would happen, but they weren't terribly interested. So I think they're probably a few months away from actual spawning or anything like that. But they hang around together. They do the nudging thing, which obviously birds should do before they breed, or bichir. He's the loner. And they're a decent size. They're maybe 40, 50 centimeters to give you an idea. That log is huge. And that log is like just over 2 foot long. More catfish in there. Is that the coolest tail you've ever seen? Look at the spikes on you. Yeah. Awesome catfish that I never get to see. Not even going to go into that murky tank, which is always murky. Giant gourami. More giant gouramis. Yeah, giant mess. Have to sort out all them, all the cool big fish. I think that is probably where we are with this update. Yeah, I'm not even going to go around the other side, but nothing's really changed around the other side. It's just mostly this that we're going to sort out. I'm going to replace that cheap canister filter, which is an Orca brand one, and it works really, really well with another Oazi, I think, just because of the ease of the heater inside the actual filter itself and the pre-filter. German made, Chinese made, they work really well. They're probably the cheapest canister filters I would sell, but they work great. And I think that one's probably been going for like 6 or 7 years. I've still got a fair few of those somewhere. I do sell those filters. They're like half the price of those, but they have a 3 + 1 year warranty, where they've got a 1 year warranty. So when you work it out, they work out heaps better. That is a ridiculous amount of cichlids, isn't it? Look at that. I know. Anyway, if you did like this quick video, was it quick? It probably wasn't quick. It seemed quick to me. If you did like this video, click the thumbs up so I know. If you've got any comments, comment down below. We will see you in the next one. Lots of cool fish turning up this week, so if you haven't seen any of my unboxing videos, you need to see that. Some really awesome tetras, which I have never had before, and I want to keep them, but I'm not keeping them. Anyway, see you in the next video. Thanks heaps for watching.